The transport ship hummed as it carried the new cadets toward the Galactic Military Academy. Inside the cargo bay, tension filled the air. 40 young beings from different worlds stood in nervous groups. They whispered and watched each other with careful eyes. Kalen stood near the corner, alone. He was the only human on this transport. His species was new to the galactic community. Most aliens had never met a human before. They only knew stories that made them afraid. Humans were called Death Worlders. Their home planet was a nightmare of predators, diseases, and extreme weather. Somehow, humans had survived it all. They were strong, fast, and hard to kill. Other species found this frightening. Kalen could feel their stares. He tried to look friendly, but no one came near him. Near the center of the bay, a group of small, furry creatures huddled together. They were Raxians, a species that looked like a mix between foxes and cats. Their fur was striped in orange and black. They had large, golden eyes and round ears that moved constantly, listening to everything. These were cubs, the youngest cadets on the ship. They stuck close to each other, seeking comfort in their pack. One cub was braver than the others. His name was Vash. He had darker stripes than his littermates and a white patch on his chest. While the others whispered warnings about the human, Vash kept looking at Kalen with curious eyes. "Stay away from the Death Worlder," one of the older cubs hissed. "Father said they are dangerous. They eat meat," another whispered. "Raw meat." Vash tilted his head. The human did not look dangerous. He looked lonely. The ship suddenly shook. An alarm blared. The captain's voice came through the speakers. "Minor turbulence. Stay calm. Secure yourselves." Most cadets grabbed onto support rails or sat down. But the Raxian cubs panicked. They were young and far from home for the first time. The shaking scared them. Vash stumbled as the ship rocked again. He fell away from his group, sliding across the smooth floor. His claws could not grip the metal. He tumbled toward the human's corner. The other cubs cried out, but were too afraid to help. They froze. Watching in horror, Kalen moved without thinking. He dropped to one knee and caught Vash gently before the cub hit the wall. His hands were careful, supporting the small body with practiced ease. "Hey, you're okay," Kalen said softly. "I've got you." Vash trembled in the human's hands. He had been taught to fear this species. But the touch was gentle. The voice was warm. It reminded him of his father. The ship stopped shaking. The alarm went quiet. But Vash did not pull away. Instead, something unexpected happened. Vash climbed. His small claws found grip on Kalen's uniform. He scrambled up the human's chest and perched on his shoulder, like he did with his father back home. It felt safe there. Natural, Kalen froze. He did not want to scare the cub. Slowly, a smile spread across his face. Around the cargo bay, the other cadets backed away. Their eyes went wide with shock. What was the cub doing? Did the human have some kind of predator power? Was he controlling the young Raxian? "Vash," one of the cubs called out. "Get away from him." But Vash did not move. He pressed against Kalen's neck, his small body relaxing. The human's shoulder was warm. His heartbeat was steady and calm. Vash had not felt this safe since leaving home. Kalen raised one hand slowly. He gently stroked the fur on Vash's head, the way he used to pet his old dog on Earth. "You're a brave little guy, aren't you?" Vash made a sound, a soft purr-like rumble. It was a sound of contentment. The other Raxian cubs stared in disbelief. An older cadet, a tall insectoid named Critch, clicked his mandibles nervously. "This is wrong. Raxians do not trust predators, especially not Death Worlders." But they could all see it. Vash trusted Kalen completely. A senior instructor entered the cargo bay. She was a Torvan, a species with blue skin and 4 arms. She had been monitoring the cadets from the bridge. When she saw the scene, she stopped. "What happened here?" she asked. One of the insectoid cadets spoke quickly. "The human grabbed the cub during the turbulence. He might be threatening him." Kalen's smile faded. He started to explain, but Vash beat him to it. The cub made an angry chirping sound at the insectoid. Then he nuzzled against Kalen's cheek, making it very clear he was not in danger. The instructor's expression softened. She had seen many species in her long career. She knew fear when she saw it. She also knew trust. "Lower your hackles, cadets," she said calmly. The cub chose to seek comfort. "That is not a threat." She looked at Kalen. "What is your name, human?" "Kalen, ma'am." "You have younger siblings, Kalen?" He nodded. "Two. A brother and a sister. I helped raise them. The instructor's eyes showed understanding. That explains the gentleness. She turned to address all the cadets. Let this be your first lesson. Fear makes us blind. This human shows care, not danger. Judge your comrades by their actions, not by stories. Slowly, the tension in the room began to ease. The other Raxian cubs crept closer, their fear battling with their curiosity. If Vash trusted the human, maybe he was not so scary. Vash remained on Kalen's shoulder for the rest of the journey. He groomed his fur and watched the other cadets with proud eyes. He had found something the others had not, a protector. When the ship finally docked at the academy, Vash reluctantly climbed down. But before he joined his group, he touched his small paw to Kalen's hand. Thank you, Vash said in his high, chirping voice. Kalen smiled. Anytime, little warrior. As the cadets filed off the ship, something had changed. A few of them nodded to Kalen. The insectoid cadet called Critch even moved aside to let him pass first, a sign of respect. The instructor watched them go and allowed herself a small smile. She had taught at this academy for 20 cycles. She had seen countless cadets arrive, filled with prejudice and fear, but she had rarely seen a barrier break so quickly. One small cub had done what speeches and lessons could not. He had shown them that courage sometimes means trusting the unexpected, that strength can be gentle, that a death worlder could be a friend. And perhaps, she thought, that was the most important lesson of all.